Hey guys, this is OddOneGaming. This is going to be another Raid Shadow Legends video. I am back with another Helicath clan boss team. This time it's gonna be same speed tune that I have done before. You know, the slow tuned one, where Helicath goes on a 4:3 ratio and everybody else has different range of speeds that can make it work for Ultra Nightmare and Nightmare. So the speeds are usually, you know, one champion has to be like 174, 175, which usually can be the block debuff champion. Then 2 DPS is 177, 178. Another DPS or a cleanser like Doom Priest at 186. And then there's Helicath that's 246, 248 speed. So this time around, I have come up with a fun little team that is actually using all DPS, defensive DPS champions. I said, you know what, let me try and do something different. Let me try and do something fun. Even though I'm gonna do like a lot of testing, a lot of other teams, I wanted to do something fun as well and see how it can actually work. And you know, the team that I'm going to use is this one over here. Let me show you on Derwood Jedi's website. So it's gonna use Tatura Ramhide, Godseeker, Razin Scarhide, and Skullcrusher. So the way that I have this one tuned is that basically Skullcrusher puts the counterattack for both of the AoEs. Godseeker and Neri will be extending that one, not straight up here, but I put her the fastest, so she extends the counterattack so everybody has them for the second AoE. And obviously I have to delay them just for the sake of that. Then at the same time, what I'm using is Tatura Ramhide, obviously, to keep us affinity friendly. Tatura will always put the A2 here, the block debuffs and the increased defense. That's gonna last always on our turns. The only tricky thing that might cause some problems is Tatura's A3. So if Tatura does the A3 and puts the, what's it called, the perfect veil, and Godseeker extends that one, it might change the stun targeting and it might change the shields, because the A3 from Tatura does a shield as well. That might cause us some problems. So it didn't really cause problems for me for my tune, but it looked tricky. So if you have the same issue for that, you can just straight up block that one out and you're good to go. I mean, it smacks decently hard, but at the same time Tatura hits really hard without that. You basically just want Tatura for the block debuffs in there and, you know, for the A1s, because it smacks really hard. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you the run, see how it goes, you know, enjoy it. It's pretty fun, you know, it does decent damage. And then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna show you the presets that I've used, and I'm gonna show you the, you know, the builds of the people. So be right back. And we are back. Look at this damage, 40.54 million damage. This is solid damage, especially since it's like, you know, it was something that was built to be more fun. And, you know, it's decent damage for a team that goes 1-to-1 ratio, obviously, except for Helicath, that goes on a 4-3 ratio. It did pretty good damage. You know, Skullcrusher 3.5 million, Godseeker Aniri 11.6 million, not just because of her simple damage, but because of those toxic sets. Like, you know, you could even bring a second person toxic if it's good enough for this team to do even more damage. I'm not sure if this team actually would have a 1-key potential because, you know, it's still barely halfway there. So, you know, it's not something like that, but it's, like I said, it's something more fun just to showcase how much damage we can actually do compared to, you know, the usual runs that use attack-based DPS champions. This one's full defensive ones. At the same time, like I said, Tatura 8.5 million, Resin 7.8. To be fair, it's wrong affinity for Resin. Helicath 8.9 million. So overall, this team can do some pretty fun damage. It's pretty, you know, it's pretty awesome. This is like one of the most basic ones that you can build, and it can actually, seeing that it can actually take you to a 2-key with, you know, just some fun stuff as well. It's really nice. Again, like I said, Tatura's in there to keep us affinity friendly. As we saw on Spirit, everything looks fine. So let me just quickly show you the builds that we used over here. So Resin, 177 speed, 100% crit rate, good crit damage, decent defense, and high accuracy to land these debuffs. Then these are the masteries. Let me move myself out of the way. So, you know, defensive and offensive. This one you could go on support instead of defensive to take Master Hexer for a chance to extend that weaken and decrease defense for Resin. I just didn't want to reset it, you know, I'm trying to keep them because I'm doing so many testings. I'm not on the test server, so it costs me lots of resources. Then Helicath, these are his masteries. Same thing, offensive, plus this one's really nice because he's gonna be full HP most of the time. If he's not full HP, obviously in this team, they get healed by Godseeker. If not, if they lose a little bit of HP, and this one will not count unless they're full HP. In order to trick that, get Immortal on your champions, like just one set of Immortal, so they heal back up, or get Lifesteal on them. You know, whichever is better, whichever works easier for you. His speed is, like I said, 246, 100% crit rate, 231 crit damage. I don't care about his accuracy to land the weaken because I have Resin for that. If I didn't have Resin and I would use somebody else for the decreased defense, then yeah, I would get some accuracy on Helicath, so he would be the one landing the weaken. Then Tatura Rhymehide, coincidentally, Tatura has a lethal set. Like all the builds that I'm doing here is I'm taking leftover gear. I'm not like taking my best gears because, you know, it wouldn't be as relatable unless I'm trying to showcase something that's a 1-key. Then yeah, I will take maybe I will take from other people. Maybe even not then, you know, because I have decent gear. But yeah, it's lethal. It's not everything is max, as you see. 174, 175 speed in this one. Like, it still works. I tested it. It still works for Nightmare as well. So, you know, if you see that maybe doesn't work, just put the stats in the calculator like I showed you, and you can check to see where the issue is. 100% crit rate to 100% crit damage, 4.6k defense. Masteries for Tatura, offense and defense. I took, offense and support. Took the support tree in case I will be using Tatura in different content where I will need, well, I will care about the decreased accuracy. Like, I want to use Tatura next time Bumble comes around, don't have the time now, to try and showcase something with, you know, or this team using Tatura's decreased accuracy, since it's 100% chance to land when it's booked. But that's for another video. Then Godseeker Aniri in the Toxic set, like I said, to have some poisons in there, as we saw, helped a lot. 186 speed, 100% crit rate, good crit damage, good defense. And the masteries, don't even have full masteries, just, you know, till here. Getting Retribution or Deterrence does not help here because guess what? We block the stun with Tatura, so, you know, doesn't really matter what you take for Godseeker, just this defense is gonna help us out because of the damage that is gonna give us more. And then the last one, Skullcrusher, again, some random sets on him, and, you know, if you can get some revenge accessories on your champions that, you know, have decent stats, get them in there because, you know, being a block damage comp, you can benefit from them. Like, you can keep counter-attacking because you're not doing unkillable with like man-eaters where you lose your HP and you use the mastery. You could use this one, so, you know, you can do some damage with this, or the retaliation set, you know, that could be really helpful as well. But yeah, Skullcrusher is the 178 speed, 100% crit rate, again, decent defense, decent crit damage. and here are his masteries. But yeah, at the end of the day, this is, like I said, this was a more fun team that I wanted to showcase by using, you know, only defensive DPSs. It's something different. It's not, you know, it's not something the usual. I try to keep, like 99% of the time, I try to keep, you know, to be as educational or as helpful as I can. But sometimes I want to make it fun, you know. It's another team that we already done with this, but I wanted to do something, you know, something different. So, you know, I hope you guys appreciate it. Or maybe, you know what, maybe this might be the first video that you see on the Helicath. And, you know, use the same principle. You don't have to use all defensive champions. You can use any type of DPS champion that works for you. You can use ally attacks, counter attacks, whatever works for you. Just make sure you keep the same principles, you keep the same, you know, the same buffs to fall down at the right time, and it's gonna work perfectly for you. The only tricky thing is with Helicath, if you're gonna use this one, try to make sure that, because this one's booked, if it's booked on streeter cooldown, bear in mind that the 174 champion, which is Tatura in our case, if you don't bring an extender like I brought Godseeker, will not have the shield on the stun. So you want to avoid getting the stun on the 174 champion, because if you don't have the shield, you're gonna die faster, obviously. The shield sort of like keeps us unkillable till that turn 50. But this is gonna be it for the video today, guys. Hope you enjoyed. I will see you in the next one. Peace, love, take care everyone. Bye.